Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome to Living Light Dark to Dawn Rock Solid, the place where you come to expand your thinking and elevate your way of being. My name is Dawn Shale, certified life coach and soul healer, hostess of this podcast. Feel free and I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for the new subscribers that have recently done so. I'm very thrilled. And if this is your first time watching and you do enjoy it, please spread the word and share it in any way that you can and let people know who I am. My message is always guiding people back to the heart of who they truly are. And there's a lot of information that encompasses this. And tonight's topic is truth, freedom, and bliss. And before I get into that, I'm coming to you from Hunterdon County, New Jersey, as always. It was a beautiful day here. It was cold, very, very windy. All the leaves just seemed to drop out of fall from the trees all at once. Just this there's like blankets of, it's like a blanket of leaves, and it's pretty. It's pretty. So it is November 13th. I am still trying to gather my thoughts, and I went live a few minutes ago, and I decided to start over. Well, why am I telling you this? Because I'm real, and that's what I like to do. So that's just what I'm sharing. So a couple of people in the live studio. Hey, Kathy. Hey, David. Hey, Carrie. How you guys doing? Scooter Bean will probably be showing up any minute. I hope you guys are doing well. I appreciate your patience. Hey, Dave. There he is. There's the crowd. There's the squad. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. And we all keep, it's all about the peace and the love and the joy here and the unity and the acceptance and the allowance in this space. So that being said, couple of shout outs to Margie Pargie. How you doing, Margie girl? And Ms. Bet, to local loyal listeners that are always here. And I appreciate them dearly. Margie is a Jersey girl, and Ms. Bet lives in Wisconsin, in the freezing cold temps up there north. So one quick announcement. David Medansky, Stop Dieting, Start Thinning, his new book about to be released, Jaded Health, the program that I was on back in October in Dallas, that I went to Dallas to be on his show that's going to be airing in January. So if you're looking to be leaner, lighter, thinner, just total way more health, if you're into total health and wellness and you want to be healthier all the way around, you want to feel better, he's your guy. He's an awesome, amazing man, husband and father, and just human being, the whole ball of wax. And do check him out. David Medansky, Jaded Health, Stop Dieting, Start Thinning. He's on all the social medias, and do look him up. I believe Carrie bought his book, so I'm not really sure where he's at in that. But so yes, welcome everybody in this crowd in the live studio. And let's see what else. That's it for the announcements and the shout outs. I hope you're all doing well. And so tonight's topic is truth, freedom, and bliss. Truth, freedom, bliss. So why am I talking about this? And I think the thing is that I'm trying to reconcile within me right now. There's a few things that directions that I can go, and it's all connected, and I'm trying to get a pulse on all of this. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I've been trying to do this all day long, and it will come together and it will come out. So truth, freedom, and bliss. I've always been a truther, and not like a truther like the world or the the media or the fake woke or whatever that all is over there describes, but as in a truth teller, wanting to, just speaking up, sharing the truth for the purpose of humanity's freedom and liberation. And that's why I've always spoken the truth. I've always had the conviction to just speak truth into people's lives, because where we have felt that there's no movement in our lives, that we're not moving forward, that we feel like it's just like emotionally bound up, that we just feel it's just stuck and stagnant. We don't feel fresh. We just feel like we're stuck in a rut. There's usually a lie we're believing, or, some old energy that's hanging around that is dictating to us feeling this way. And I was just at the gym earlier, and I was making this observation. And I'm at the gym four nights a week. I'm there 4 days a week. I work out. I'm very committed to this. And I was just observing, I just felt like the energy in the gym, it just had like that stale feeling. It's just felt that way. And I think there's a lot of this going on in the world while we are experiencing, there are those of us that we know how to tap in and tune into bliss in within ourselves, the new earth, the higher dimension, the heart-centered living. It's like there's both. There's a contrast. There's people that are not, everybody's in different phases of consciousness. So there are people that are not as conscious as others. And it doesn't mean people are better. I do feel that there's a meme and an idea that goes around that says no one is ahead of, we're all teachers, we're all students, we're all teachers. That is true. But if you take people that are completely broke, that have no drive, that maybe are addicted to drugs and things like this, so you have somebody like that, and you have, you know, spiritual teachers that are not even myself, not even comparing this to myself, but people that have I don't want to name them off, but all the teachers out there, I would venture to say that those teachers and these people that teach this stuff and that have dedicated their lives to this are ahead of those that, so it just gets into this, you know, trying so hard to not be egotistical that it becomes egotistical, because there are people that are ahead of other people, and it's not, it doesn't mean that they're better. It doesn't mean better. It just means ahead of the consciousness, ahead of this understanding, this understanding of love. And believe me, when I tell you that anybody that is ahead or has this greater understanding of love, they paid a dear price for it. A dear price for it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of, you know, dealing with your ego, and the ego works of the ego. So what is the work of the ego? Gosh, it's a lot of things. Blame is a big one. Like whenever there's you know, an issue or something with someone, there's just a lot of blame. It's always them. It's always their fault. It's always the ex. It's always the friend that I cut off. It's always somebody else. Like blame is a real big one. You know, I've experienced a certain measure of betrayal in my life, and is it that person's fault every single time? There's been contexts and situations over the course of life. And, you know, recent years, anytime this has happened, I'm not going to use the word fault or blame, but I am going to say that people choose and make choices, and it's not, it's the perspective. It's the little spin and a little shift that says, okay, this is what they're choosing. This is where they are. And betrayal hurts no matter what. But it's not remaining in a space of blame. And it takes time to develop and understand that not everybody is capable of having the hard conversations or working a situation out or dealing with a misunderstanding. And so this is what they end up doing. They lie, they cheat, they steal, they betray, they turn their back on you and all these things. And it's basically, they treat you as they have regarded themselves. They treat other people based on how they don't have respect and esteem for themselves. It takes time to really get to that place. And even when you have, and even when you've made peace with this, even when you've gotten to a place where you understand that people relate to others based on how they relate to and respect themselves, it still hurts nonetheless. It's not, you know, that you're a robot and it's just nothing ever bothers you ever again. I disagree with that whole philosophy. But so how did I get on that? Talking about truth, freedom, and bliss. And people ultimately want to feel good. So where was I? So getting back to this, where the heck was I with this? This happens because there's so much I want to talk about. And even with a couple of show notes, you know, it's just like, I want to get all this out and I want to discuss it all. Anybody else here arriving in the studio? No, it just seems like you guys. That's good. Awesome. So I was talking about ego, but before I spoke about that, so let's just lean into this. It's people, you know, people being in different phases of consciousness. It doesn't mean they're better. It doesn't mean they're worse. That's not really how to look at it. And blame never serves anything in any way. And so there's a difference between looking at the truth of something versus making it, versus the blame of with the anger attached to it. So in this moment in time, in this shift that we're at, you know, in the collective, in the world, with all the chaos and all the stuff that's going on, and I talk about that, you know, a lot, and I'm trying to make the you know, correlation that there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of stuff going on, and people are being triggered more than ever, and a lot of people's debris and issues and things are rising to the surface. So I made a post today in social media that was quite quite bold. It was quite direct, and I've always been a direct communicator. It was you know, it was on control and manipulation, and was honest about it. I posted about this last year. It was posted last year on November 11th, 11/11 last year, and I mean, about 109 people reacted to this thing. And in that space, I guess that's where people were, and it was something that was speaking to them. And I know that social media has significantly changed a little bit. Um, and I felt that this is what's happening now in this space. There's a lot of relational upheaval. There's a lot because of here's why. So because as you advance, as you heal, as you move forward and more deeper into truth, there's personal stuff that comes up that you have to face yourself. And when that happens, not everybody knows how to handle this. Not everybody knows how to handle what's coming up and that's emerging within themselves. Hence, where the blame comes, and people experience like some kind of an emotional thing or a shift within themselves. They're being presented with something. They're being shown something, and then the egoic knee-jerk reaction is to blame somebody else for this. And it's nobody is ever to blame for what you're experiencing within your own self. And depending on your friendships and your relationship, your marriage or not, your single status, whatever it is, um, hopefully you have a tribe of people that you can talk these things through with and you can share these things with. I know I do. I've had mentors and coaches and different things over the course of my life. And I find it interesting, and I'm going to steal this from Carrie. Um, she spoke the other night, and I've been doing behavior and healing for 30 years. And it's interesting how, people they'll watch this, they'll hear me talk, maybe they'll give this 15, 20 minutes, and I don't really know, but whether it's social media, whatever it is, and I know I have a sort of a youthful way about me, and I know that I have, I can be, we're all these things all together. We all have a shadow, we all have ego, we all have, and the more mature and healed and whole and all of this and evolved that you become and conscious that you become and in touch with your own self, you make the choices based on love. You want that to be the main vein. You want that to be the main driver and the main and it becomes that way. The more work that you do in this area, you choose love more. You feel that, you leaning into that. But we all have the ability to become angry, to be annoyed, to become disgusted. We all do this. No one is above this. And so there was somebody said something the other day. They posted something about the two sides of myself, and there was a picture of like the Dalai Lama, and then there's a picture of this guy, like this thug guy that's lighting a cigarette. And I made a joke and I said, Jersey thug and divine goddess perfect together. I mean, I wasn't raised in a a straight and narrow home whatsoever. So I know how to get down and dirty. I have the Jersey girl side to me. I have that Jersey attitude, and I admit that. I own that. I think it's a good thing, and I think it's good. I'm actually more proud of where I grew up for this reason, that I learned how to stand up for myself, because a lot of people, it depends on and where you were raised, how you were raised, the part of the world that you were raised, the state that you were raised in, the part of the country you were raised in. And a lot of people don't understand that standing up for yourself and speaking up and speaking truth is a good thing. It all depends on how you speak you speak the truth. So, it's just interesting when I'm saying that I'm stealing this from Carrie, because she spoke this the other day on her Facebook Live, that people will try to school me. They'll come in and they'll try to school me, or they think that I need healing. They think that I need, and they're viewing me from their frame of reference. They're viewing me from their phase of consciousness. They're viewing this from what they think. And it's I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I always have, and that's a good thing. When I was 25 years old, somebody said this to me. I was working in a salon, and then this woman said to me, "Do you realize you wear your heart on your sleeve?" And it's like you say that's like it's a bad thing. First of all, what the heck does that mean? I didn't know what that meant when I was 25 years old. I had no idea what this meant, and I was just being me. And I've always just, and I had a lot of naivety a lot of naive ways to mature and evolve out of. But so I'm in a place doing what I've been doing, working with people, um, writing the content that I write, the life that I have intentionally created, full of peace, full of bliss, that I can I don't it's I'm good with showing who I am. I'm good with that. I'm good with just being me and not putting on airs and image and all of this. Like I don't have there's no image taking place here. I'm just rolling with this, sharing from my heart space. There's nothing that I'm trying to prove. There's not an image I'm trying to present to you guys. And part of this wanting to be real and being real, which I made on the post the other day that I posted about this the YouTube podcast and that is still relatively new, is I never wanted to be a buttoned up professional. I when I decided years ago to in pursuit of my life's work, I didn't want to be this buttoned up professional that wore the white shirt and the collar, and I wanted to, I had this like professional side, and then when I was home it was just a relaxed loose that I am this is me here in this grocery store, meeting up for coffee, going out to dinner, talking on the phone with friends. This is what you see here is me. This is all the time. And I want it to be that way on purpose because I think the world is starved for real and starved for authentic. And am I bragging? No. Now you could hear this. Someone can hear this and interpret it a totally different way. They say, "Oh, what is she trying to prove? She says she doesn't have image, but she's trying to." I'm explaining for people that have not followed me for any extended period of time. Maybe you're a new subscriber. I'm sharing that this is my objective for doing this. My objective is just for being a real person, putting real out there and authentic out there, that it's loving, kind, soft, and warm and feminine. And then there's also I have we all have masculine and feminine energy. And I believe that action, a large portion of us experiencing happiness, joy, and bliss is taking action in our life. It doesn't just happen. And it doesn't happen by all the rituals and all the things. So the post that I made in today on control and manipulation was pretty bold. And in the beginning that I shared last year when I posted it, I wrote it due to an experience that I had of which this person was functioning in a Jezebel spirit before they acknowledged this. What does that mean? Control manipulation. That's what that basically means. Before they acknowledged it, I wrote this piece. This blog is very long. And after I wrote it, this person, coincidentally, we had a conversation, came back around because the energy I put out there, came back around, apologized. Actually, in a conversation, they actually verbally owned that they function in this Jezebel spirit. And so I forgave this person, took them back. And so they ended up pulling a real crappy stunt again. This blog showed up on the 11th, a couple of days ago in my Facebook memories. And I said, you know what? I'm going to post this again, but I revised it. So I put it into my computer. I went through it. I revised it, changed some things, made it more up to date, and reposted it today. And I really think, and I'm saying this, taking a step out there. And some of you people know me really well. Some of you lovely people know me really well. I think we're in the middle of this. Like we are in the thick of this, and the thick of last year, this time, it was like this super haute couture bliss of amazingness. And I don't know if anybody here in the live studio can relate to this or remember. And if you do, I'd love to hear you say that. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. And if not, then don't say anything. This year it's different. It's different. We're dealing with a heck of a lot more stuff going on in the world. There's a heck of a lot more triggers. And I think the shift and the energy that's coming in, which is this super love, the solar flares, the super love, the super shift of love that is it's almost like a baby. I never given birth. So Dave said, yes, he does. So that means that he remembers. Thank you for that. It's creating more pressure in areas that have not been surrendered to yet. That's what's happening. So the more we continue in this shift and in this space of which love and God and universe is on the move, right? That's what this is moving into deeper love, into the higher dimension, into heart-centered living, however we want to phrase this. The cosmic, the mystic, the understanding, the awakening. It's all about the love, the awakening, right? As we're moving deeper into this, it's also putting pressure on the darkness, big time pressure on the darkness. And there's a lot of dark entities and false light that's being exposed. And that's part of what I wanted to share here, because me and a friend, I won't say who she was unless she gives me permission, although it was all over her page, so it's kind of hard to hide it. She was really attacked. She was the one that was attacked, and someone stole her stuff. And so I went to bat on her behalf. And we functioned as a team Saturday afternoon. Like we kicked ass Saturday afternoon where it comes to this fraud. I'm not going to mention this person's name. It's the fraud. And I believe that it's our duty to do this. So how does this fall in line with truth, freedom, bliss? Because it has to do with truth. It has to do with, we don't get to bliss until we tell the truth. We have to tell the truth first, and then the evidence of truth is freedom. And then as we get into a freer space, we can expand, and then we learn how to manage the joy and the peace that turns into regular bliss. Thank you for that. Does that make sense? So there needs to be a truth that creates the freedom. And the more freedom you have, then you expand into deeper and greater bliss, which becomes a choice. And the more freedom that you experience, the more you expand into more joy that becomes greater bliss. So when people say, I don't believe in bliss, we can't live in bliss, we can't do this, we can't do that, I think there's magic, but it's not all the time. That's their reality. Straight the flip up, that is their reality, and never let anybody else define your reality. You're entitled to as much joy and peace and bliss as you create, not based on someone else's opinion of what they say there's no such thing as, or what they don't believe. I can't say that any more bluntly. So the post today was about the control and the manipulation. And I really feel that we're in this relational space. And how do I know this? Because I work with people and I have lots of conversations. And I'm in social media a lot because I post there a lot and I interact there a lot. And I see what people are saying there a lot. And people will be talking about, well, narcissists do this. So there's people that talk about the narcissist. And then there's people that will talk about, people that really have your back. They'll post the memes that say, real true friends do this and true friends do that. And then people will say, when you really find love, this is what you find, and this is what real love is. And so I put this stuff together. I'm very observant, and I pay attention to what people are feeling and what people are experiencing. And not just in social media, but out. And I was talking about the gym, and the gym did feel very stale. It just did. It's like, and I could feel, and it's not because the gym is stale. It's the people, they're younger guys. It's mostly young kids. There are a few people my age there, but the majority of the members at this particular gym are in their 20s, maybe up to mid 30s. There's a few people my age. And so that's what I'm going to say about that. But you just get a sense, you get that discerning sense that people kind of just feel like they're not progressing in life, and they're just doing the same thing. They're going to their job, they're making their money, the weekend's coming. They lack creativity, and the creativity is lacking because they're not connected to who they truly are. Well, how do you know who's connected to who, Dawn, at the gym? Well, that's my job. That's my calling. You can just tell. You could just tell when, and plus, kids in their 20s aren't necessarily in that space of awareness. They probably have goals and dreams and visions, but they're not sure how to bring them to fruition. And so there's no shame or judgment in anything that I'm saying. It's just I have a sense of just the mundane, the repetition. And then there's people my age that they're just doing everything they can to drag themselves there, and you just get a sense of certain people that, this guy over there, he's just tired. He's just worn down. He's just trying to keep it going, and there's no shame or judgment in this. It's just, my heart goes out to these people that, that they're just trying and they're just trying. And this is as a result of never really awakening to the magic and the beauty that they are. That's really what it is. Because when you are really awakened to the magic and the beauty that you are, and I use the word magic on purpose, and magic isn't like pixie dust and woo woo and unicorns and fairies. That's not what I mean. And I'm not saying that stuff doesn't exist. I'm saying that the beauty and the magic, the magic is love. Love is magic. That's really what this is. So there's comments. I'm on a roll. I don't want to lose my thought, but let me see. So never have I ever dealt with anything more difficult than my own soul. That's awesome. And Kathy just said that. And Kat, she also said you have my permission. The grocery store is pretty interesting too. Yes, it is. Depending on where you grocery shop. So I'm going to tell the story about, because Kathy just gave me permission. So she's the queen. She's bold, man. Let me tell you what. But you if you don't know her, okay, I know her, and she is soft and warm and amazing, and we're a lot alike. When we talk, I can hear her connection and her love. I can hear that. But she'll kick your ass in a heartbeat if you're going to come against someone she loves, and if you're going to mess around, and if you're going to sling darkness, and if you're going to sling all kinds of stuff. And what I mean by kick your ass doesn't mean violent. It doesn't mean violent. I'm the same way. I will stick up for an underdog. I will take the side of someone that's being beat down. And so Saturday we had to do just this. We had to do this. We had to do this because this person is a fraud. And so I'll get to that in a minute. But I have her permission, so I'm going to share, because it has to do with truth. How does this lead to bliss? She's a truth teller. I'm a truth teller. A couple of people here are truth tellers. And what does that mean? Does that mean everybody else is a liar? No, it just means that's not what that means. Truth telling means you have a conviction for people's freedom. That's how the connection. You have a conviction and a passion for the freedom of humanity. And the evidence of truth is freedom. And when you speak the truth, because the truth shall set you free, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So it begins with truth. And so this blog that I posted today about control and manipulation, I said a lot of blunt things. I said a lot of not confident. I don't want to say, it's not even confrontational. I'm going to have a look at it. Well, I mentioned this person that did a number on me for the second time. I should have known the first time. And here's the thing. When someone shows you who they are the first time, and it's pretty bad, even if they apologize, forgive them. And depending on what it was, maybe you need to release that person and not give them the second chance, unless you know that they have truly transformed. Because transformation from this kind of thing that I talked about doesn't happen in a couple of months. It doesn't even happen in a year. When someone admits that they're functioning in a Jezebel controlling way, that kind of work takes time, because control is the evidence of a lot of fear in someone's life. Fear of conversations, fear of owning one's stuff. There's wounds underneath this fear. There's some hurts that haven't been healed. It takes a while. It doesn't just happen, by reading some memes, reading a book, or learning how to speak a language that is surrounding these things. And so rituals has a lot to do with this. And I'm trying to find that, because there's a very long article that I wrote. Let me see. Where is it? I will find it. And I made it very clear that I was not coming against or putting the kibosh on all of these things. I was not saying that these methods and modalities and these tools aren't of benefit and good use, because they are, but they're supposed to be used as tools. They themselves do not contain the answers. And I'm looking for this part right now. I apologize. Give me 1 second. I know, where is it? It's long. It is somewhere. Anyway, so to get to bliss, it's the measure of one's wholeness and centeredness that you come into alignment within yourself, that you can manage this bliss, and it is very real, and it is, and here it is. I found it. Okay, so here's what I said. Control isn't just about fear in and of itself. It's linked to festering material wounding or trauma. It's hiding in the background behind the presentable persona within one's energy field that to them is a regular practice as a defense mechanism to protect themselves. It's also being hidden behind, as has for centuries really, which has been a hotspot, experiences of galactic otherworlds, religious beliefs, the supernatural, benevolent beings, pendulum use, astrology, tarot, visions, lucid dreams, rituals, multidimensional realities, and loads of other spiritual practices. Some have mastered this so well over the years, not dealing with their wounds. They believe their own illusions and fantasies they've dreamed up for semblance of peace, feeling good, and security. And that's a lot. Just that little piece right there. So that this is quite a thing. And I did this on purpose because there's a lot of this stuff that is being used, it's being consulted with, it's being relied upon, it's being, and I understand that there's phases, and I understand that people go through their phases, and I understand that people will explore, and they will what's the word? Not the word, there's another word. Not I'm trying to think of the word. And it's a positive word, but people will not play around with, but people will, what is the word? Look into these things, not demonstrate. I need a word. So let me see. Describe bliss. Oh, hey, Lori, how are you? So that's going to take a while. I'm getting to that. It's all part of this. So there's phases that people go through, and explore. Let's use the word explore. People will just explore these things, loosely. But what happens is in people's exploration, and it's a subconscious thing, and I don't think it's done deliberately. Sometimes it might be because people don't want to feel into the pain. They don't want to feel into what they really need to clear. So in this exploration of these things that I just mentioned, and our dear friend does tarot, and she's a very pragmatic person. She's a very balanced person. So while she does this, never once has she said that this is the be all end all to your healing, to your freedom, because it's not. Neither is astrology, neither is all these different these spiritual practices and these different modalities and these tools that they're added tools to use on your journey. The be all end all is within you. It's within you, and it's what you do with it, and it's what you are willing to allow yourself to see, what you allow yourself to admit, what you allow yourself to become real about, that creates your freedom. So there's nothing wrong with any of these things. And it's just what happens is people will get a hold of something, and then they'll want to make it like, this is it. I found my thing. And so they'll buy like it's 3 crystals every week. That it's all about the crystals. I know people that have cabinets, literally cabinet full of crystals. What is this doing for you? It's presence. Okay, so if it's presence and it's real and it's all these things that I don't want to get into, who are you in here? What's going on within yourself? What's going on within your soul? What's going on within your own heart? What is going on within there? Because if you're using, and I have a couple of things, I mean, we can do show and tell now because it's not just a podcast. This one's gorgeous. This is, I forgot, this is a redstone something or other. I forgot what this is called. It's beautiful, and it's whoop. And it's really shiny and sparkly. I keep this one on my desk. It's gorgeous. This is from Australia, and I carried this around for about 10 years, and I never even realized I had it. And I forgot the name of it because I'm not obsessed with this stuff, but I know what it means to me, and I know what it feels, and I forgot what this is called. I found this in Sydney on the beach, and if you've ever seen like shells and rocks and things that just come up from the ocean, so I found this, and I put this in a box, and I was going through that box one day, and I opened up the box. I was like, oh my God, this is what I think it is. I had this on me for like 10 years, and I never knew what it was. And then now it's come into my awareness. So I keep it on my desk now, but this is from Sydney, Australia. And the point that I'm making, and this is the same one. This is a newer one. This is the same rock. I forgot what this is called, but it's the same thing. It's the same substance, but this is a newer one. This is from 2011. That's how long I've had this. And I didn't know what it was. And I even felt like I've always been drawn to these things, but my identity is not found in this. This is not my identity. And if I had like a whole wall of this stuff, this is not my identity. Who your character and integrity is, that's the field. The love field, the field of God, the field of the universe, our energy field is in here. It's not this. This is a tool that adds energy and support, right? But and some people are going to weigh that loosely, and some people are going to think it's nuts what I just said. Not everybody's into this stuff, but it's not who you are. And if you don't have this in your pocket one day, you're not going to fall over dead. If you don't, you know, your identity doesn't surround this. It doesn't surround astrology. It doesn't surround tarot. It doesn't surround, the singing bowl circles, the yogas, groups and meetings. These are all tools to get you here. It's to get you into here ultimately. Yes, that's what it is. Thank you, Dave. Obsidian. I believe that's what it is. No, tourmaline. See, I don't have here.
That was easy.
So there we go. It's tourmaline. But yes, I think this one is tourmaline and this one is obsidian. I think. Or they're both, but I definitely know that this is tourmaline from Sydney. I know that that's what this is. And see how people here know what that is, and that's awesome. And they're tools. This does not define who we are. Let's see. Let me see what people have said here. Let me see. Okay. I am doing well. So yeah, so Kathy has black obsidian. So they all mean something. They all have meanings. And some people, how do you know that? Where'd you get this from? People that are not aware of this, look it up, Google it, check it out. Go to these things are certified. It's from the earth. God created it. It's not bad. It's not wicked. It's not evil. There's good quality and energy to all this stuff, but it's still ultimately, this is where it's all about this and here. Hopefully this stuff is going to make you more conscious of this. It's going to lead the way to here. Astrology is going to lead you to here. Tarot is going to lead you to here. The Bible is going to lead you to here. Prayer is going to lead you to here. Meditation is going to lead you all. It's all supposed to be leading you to here, to your freedom that is going to expand and cause that greater, more sustained bliss in here. But people will focus on all these things. And I know people that they want a card pulled every single week. They want their astrology. They want to know what they read their horoscope every single day, or they consult with astrology all the time. And they are just constantly looking for an answer. They're constantly wanting someone to tell them what's going on, or they're relying on friends too much, even their life coach too much, their counselor, their therapist, whatever it is, too much, their husband, their spouse, their wife, their best friend, and they become attached to a source of light way too much instead of connecting to your own. That's your freedom. That's your bliss. Truth, freedom, bliss. So it starts with the truth. And if you can be open to these truths and open to identifying, where am I attached? Who am I dependent on too much? Where's the codependency still existent? Where's there a hurt and a wound that I haven't forgiven yet? Where is there something that's happened in my life with someone that I haven't really released? Where is there something that is hindering the freedom, stopping up that flow? And so you can have a codependent relationship with this. You could codependent relationship with tarot, codependent relationship with astrology, codependent relationship with yoga. I mean, I know, you can go yoga once a week, but it's all things yoga all day, all the time. Now, yogis, the people that are the instructors, it's their life. That's what they do. They instruct it. My thing is guiding people back to the heart, and that's my thing. So I talk about this all the time. I'm trying to get people detached into here. I'm trying to, and I say trying to loosely. It's just I'm talking right now, so I'm using this. You have to hear what I'm saying in context. I want you to come in here. I want you to get in here. I want you to get connected to yourself. I want you to know who you really are. I want you to really face what needs to be cleared so you can experience this bliss. So you're not that person that says, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in this regular magic. And what's this magic stuff all about? What's the cosmos and the mystic stuff? And what does all this mean? And, you know, can't something happen for me? Can't something happen to me? I just want something good to happen this year. Now here we are. We're coming, we're coming towards the end of another year. It's like people are putting their Christmas stuff out already. Oh my God. I haven't even had like we haven't had Thanksgiving yet. And I just wanted to enjoy, first of all, October and then November for Thanksgiving. And sure enough, it's like I've never seen people want to put their Christmas trees up earlier than this year. And we have the retail industry to thank for that. We have the system to thank for that, for just pushing, push it out, push it out. And there's an anxiety surrounding this. There's an anxious energy surrounding this. If you're here, you're going to identify that. And the more you become here, and I think this is one reason why people don't do this. The more you become here, the less you're going to be identify with that. And the less you're going to be like, I don't like this. I don't want to go here. Can we stop this? This is crazy. Christmas commercial first showed up in October. The first Christmas commercial I saw, the ding, 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 dong, ding, dong. Jingle bells. October. You know, I don't know what this anxious push is. And I think honestly, I'm going to just say this. I think some of this is a force of darkness trying to get people distracted, trying to get people into an anxious space, trying to get people into, all hyper and just in a fear space, like, oh my God, just distracted. What am I going to buy? I don't know what I'm going to buy. People start thinking about Christmas presents in October. I mean, some people are done Christmas shopping in October, and that maybe if they've done that, and there's no shame or judgment again with what I'm saying. If that's what you've always done and that's what you're used to, then that's totally fine. Whatever floats your boat. But I just think that a lot of this it's a distraction. And I think the darkness of the world and the system knows that people are waking up. And I think it knows that people are getting a handle on who they are and they're becoming more empowered than ever. So we got to find a way to distract them now. We got to find a way to distract this because people are waking up. And the more people that wake up, industries are going to lose money. The medical industry is going to lose money. The food industry is going to lose money. I mean, the money's going to be circling back to us, where it's supposed to be. So if you work for it. So let me see. The excavation is ongoing. Yes, it is. It's absolutely ongoing. So I hope this is making sense. So the measure of wholeness and centeredness. I'm going to tell this story about this truth situation that happened. So now, in conjunction with, you have to be careful who you listen to, who you read, what you read, what you watch. And I just want to throw this in there too, because I've talked about the conditioned system for years. I've talked about the codependent system for years, and largely, where's it show up? It largely shows up mostly on TV, television, and the entertainment industry and music. There's very little conscious music out there. I am very particular and intentional of the music that I listen to now. The music that is on my gym playlist. And there's some rock and roll and some things that the lyrics aren't so great, but I have never been into like the dark minor chords in any kind of music whatsoever. This just sounds dark and minor, I know Dave's going to laugh at that. Never been into that stuff. It's got to be upbeat, and there's some rock and roll that's pretty raunchy and gritty that I have on my gym playlist, but I won't even play that stuff in my house anymore. And I don't play it in the house because I want to maintain the energy in this space. I want to keep it maintained. And what's the difference if you listen to it in the car and at the gym? What's the difference? Because that's not my house. I can listen to it at the gym. I'm working out and, get the pump going and lifting weights. And so I have that intense rock and roll and that stuff going. But in the house, this is like the safe haven, and it's just a shift. I want peace here. And every once in a while I'll throw something on, but I don't have blasting loud rock and roll going on in this house. I have more, higher hertz, like 432, 528 hertz music going. As I'm working with people and as I'm doing things all day long, I have more of a calmer, sort of a what is it called? The vibrational type, higher vibrational music and stuff going on in the background. I'm trying to explain this to people that may have not heard of this before. In the car, yeah, in the car, and it depends on where I'm at. It depends on where everybody listens to music based on their mood and based on how they feel, and everybody's has their preferences. Um, but so why did I bring music up? Where did this come from? Vibration and energy. Okay. So truth, freedom, and bliss. Well, if I get back to this article, if anybody could tell me where the heck I just dropped off with this music and where I was going with this, I would appreciate it. Let me see what Dave said here. Yeah, so he said same here. He's talking about the music frequencies, listening to nothing and walking in nature is best for me. Yes, Lori, absolutely. We need grounding and walking in nature and being quiet, and it keeps you centered. So you discover that's really good. Thank you for that. Whatever keeps you centered and in your power. And when I'm in the gym lifting weights, I'm not going to listen to meditation music. I'm going to be listening to something that's going to keep me moving, especially when you're in that environment that feels stale, stuck, stagnant. And it's not everybody, but there are certain people that you just get a sense of what's going on, and got the headphones on, music's blasting, focused. I get what I do, and I'm in and out of there. When I'm here, this is my safe haven, and hopefully your house is that's exactly what it is. It's your safe place. It's your haven and all that. So Kathy just said honesty and integrity. Oh, thank you. I was starting to tell a story. I was starting to tell that story about what happened over the weekend. And so, yes, honesty and integrity is the field. That is the field of love. And it's one and the same. It's not, all the mystical, magical things of, the rituals and the tools and all these things that we use, as I showed you the rocks and the crystals and stuff. That is in the field. That's exactly what that is. So here's what happened. I'll start to tell a story. Thank you so much. So Kathy sees things. she sees some really awesome things in the sky, and she takes pictures of these things. Like I take pictures of the clouds and I post them in social media, Facebook and Instagram, and she sees things at night, and she sees different lights and different beings and things. And so she posts this stuff to share, like, wow, like, check this out. So there's this woman who, I'm not going to mention this. I don't even know who this person is, but stole her pictures. This person stole her pictures. So she stole her pictures, and she posted them on her page. She didn't even ask. And they were definitely her stuff. What was her pictures? So why does this matter? Because I don't know who you are. She doesn't know who you are. And you didn't at least ask permission. Oh, I love your stuff. Can I share this? And I'll say that I got it from you. Because here's why. It was Kathy's experience. It was something that came to her. And whatever experience you were having in that moment belongs to you, whatever that is. Like Lori just said, that going for a walk in nature works for her. I like grounding. I know Dave grounds. I don't know exactly what Carrie does. And I have an idea of what David does, just because I have a feeling. And my other friends, we all have our ways and things that bring us into alignment and deeper centeredness. We all have our things. So, and I had an experience yesterday morning with a bird that slammed into the window, and that was an interesting experience. But anyway, so if she's having this experience and she posts the pictures, she's not, that was hers, and she's sharing. It's like a sacred part of herself that she's sharing. So this woman stole it. Somebody that we were friends with shared this other woman's post, of which was stolen from Kathy. So Kathy went over there and confronted this guy and said, these are my pictures that I took in Arkansas. These are my pictures. And it matters, because I'll tell you why. This community, this galactic community, this multidimensional community, this ascension community, and I know Tina talked about this the other day. She talked about this love and light, always the answers. So this is in alignment. And I only watched a little bit of her video the other day. I try to keep up with her. So, but she and I are always on the same page, but we talk about different things, but we are on the same page as to what really is the answer. So she talked about is light and love the answer. I'm talking about all these rituals and all these things. So what is the answer? Truth, freedom, and then sustained bliss. So she confronted this guy and he said, well, maybe you need to take it up with this woman yourself. You posted it. So I'm taking it up with you and I'm telling you. So this guy basically denied Kathy's truth, basically didn't care that she was saying that these pictures belong to me. And I would have, he should have at least taken it down and said, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you first. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize this. And so he did not do this. This guy has been in my crawl for a while. What does that mean? If you're from the South, you know what that means. He's been on my friend list and I've been paying attention to him. And basically what it is him and his girlfriend, which I guess that's what they are. They literally live in a camper, and it's a very old camper. And it's not even like, I'm not talking about one of these, $40,000, $50,000 RVs. And I think they even cost more than that. I'm talking about a little camper that is connected to the truck. And this thing is probably, I would think that the year, I don't know what the year this thing is. I don't even think it's a 2000. I mean, this thing is really old. This goes back to like the 90s, this camper. He and his girlfriend made a choice. They made a choice to go live in a camper down by the river. It's kind of a joke. They made a choice. This Dave just said, down by the river. I'm saying that you got to be careful. I'm telling you this story because you got to be careful who you listen to and who you read on social media and who you connect with. Because not everybody posts not everybody's who they post to be. Okay. So they made a choice. They live in Europe somewhere. They started out, I don't know, in Finland. I don't know where they all are or what all countries they have been in. They're traveling in this camper. They don't work. They have cell phones and they're obviously connected to social media because they're on Facebook. So they have to pay a cell phone bill, but they do not work. They don't have jobs, 3D jobs, as they call it, 3D jobs. So they don't have jobs. But what they do is they come on Facebook and they regularly ask people to support their cause, to send them money for anchoring the light. This is what they're doing. They're in these countries calling down light codes and anchoring the light in the respective countries, because that's what they feel God has told them to do, to stand there and anchor the light in the earth while living in a camper and disagreeing with the 3D existence and the 3D world and the 3D money. But yet they need money to pay for their cell phone bill. They have to eat. They have to shower. They have to do something. So they're asking their friends and supporters and followers of Facebook to send them their 3D money that they get up and go work for and bust their ass for, making this money every day. So I'm going to send you my 3D money so you can live in a camper, so you can call down light codes into the earth. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, maybe not shower. Love and light get banded about too easily, but it's truly sacred light that emanates from the heart, which comes only through honesty and integrity. Yes, amen, David. You're absolutely correct. They eat very well and have a very large house behind that camp. They do. I've never seen. They have a large house. Okay, that makes me even more mad. They have not shared where they have a house. Wow. Okay, that's a disgrace. All of their Facebook videos are filmed in the back of that camper. And the reason why Why am I talking about this? Be wise to what's going on out there. Be wise. Be wise. Just be wise to these charlatans, to these people that feel like their mission is part of the Andromeda and galactic world to call down light codes and ask you to fund it. I did not know that they had a house. I have seen he has posted pictures on his page of a camper in the woods with barely like this what is this thing? This what is it called? A visor? I don't know what that thing's called. A canopy. And so they've created a financial system that they think is going to save the world, and they think that everybody needs to consent and sign up for this financial system. And once you get connected to this financial system that is God's plan, you will never have to work. You'll only have to work 20 hours a week, and you'll make $20,000 a month and all this stuff. It's like insane. It's absolutely insane. And there are a lot of people that you might be connected to in your friend list that believe in this stuff, that follow this stuff. And the person, by the way, that I mentioned in my post this morning, that I'm referencing here about the control and manipulative, the expose, and it really the bottom line to all of this is what control is, what fear is, and that here's what love really is, and this is what love really does. This person validated these people. I found these people through this person, and this person signed up for this financial system. And so you got to kind of connect the dots. You got to pay attention to even people that you're connected to, who they're connected to, who they're following, who they're validating, who they're getting into agreement with. Because here's the deal. Light and love is in here. And any light codes and any light work that I'm going to do is going to bring you back to this. I'm not going to beg you for money. I'm not going to tell you that, I'm going to, sell all my stuff, and I'm going to pack it all up in the back of my SUV, and I'm going to drive across the country, and I'm going to call down light codes, and I need you to fund me for it. Like, no. You can pray for people, you can hold space for people, you can support people, and if you need to send people love and light, send them love and light. But let me tell you what, you don't get funded for that. Now, I work with people as a professional, and I help people guide people into their own awareness. But I work with them as a professional of which I get paid for, which is my profession. It's totally different than I'm going to take a picture on a mountaintop like this, and I'm calling down light codes from up here, and you got to pay me to do this in Romania. You got to pay me to do this because I'm doing the work of God, calling down light codes from Father Mountain over here. Okay. It takes all kinds. You know what I'm saying? So special optics, maybe. God. So we confronted the daylights out of this guy. We went around and here's what happened. Kathy made her statement. I backed her up. I said, these are her pictures. He still would not remove this post. He wouldn't remove it. And so because he wouldn't remove it, the next day now he starts to backpedal. Well, maybe we need to go to her and ask her, this Victoria chick, we need to go to her and ask her if she, no, we don't need it. No, it's too late. Now you're trying to backpedal. Now you know that you're caught. So I went on there and I said, you're losing a lot of followers. People are finding out who you are. They're realizing who you are. And this shenanigans, this jig is up. The whole thing is just you guys with all of this whole show you have going on with all these things. Now, Kathy saw these things. It was a sighting that she saw. There's something that she saw that was legitimate. What I see, the pictures that when I say glory day and I post pictures of the clouds and there's faces and there's lions and there's different things going on, this is legitimate. And I'm not asking for money for it. I'm sharing this with you. So maybe this will speak to you in some way because God and universe is real and all the benevolent beings are real and all the angelic realm is real and all this is real, not a religious sense, not in a work sense, not in a sense that you need to repent and confess your sins and get right and figure, not in that sense. It's just pure, the pure white light. This guy's not of the pure white light. If he's trying to get money from people, now he just found out he's got a house. Oh God. Okay. Let me see here. So Why did I tell this story? We had to tell the truth. She told the truth. She shared her truth. He denied it. We ramped it up. I backed her up. I was her backup. And we went into this dark space and we said, enough is enough. That's why we did this. Enough is enough. And as a result, a few people liked what we both said. Friend requested me. I got private messages saying, I'm so glad you spoke up. I've had my eye on him for a while. I've known he's been a fraud for a while. I know what they've been doing for a while. I mean, believe it or not, there are real innocent, vulnerable people out there that are hungry for answers. They want something real. They want to believe in something greater than themselves. They want to believe in the supernatural. They want to believe that somebody's in control. They want to believe this. And so they're vulnerable. And so they follow guys like this because guys like this are like coming across like they're God. And I think this one person that wrote to me said this guy actually said, he actually said on a post of his that he's the son of God. He's the son of God. You're the answer. Guess what? Here. There is no separation. God and universe dwells in here. So if you want to know something greater than yourself, here, go in here. This is it right in here. Yes, he did. Davey did. He said that he was the son of God. This person told me. I never saw that post, but this is what this person told me. He didn't say he was Jesus Christ, but he said that he's phrased it in a way of that like, yes, he is the son of God, a son of God. We're all sons and daughters of God. We're all sons and daughters. We're all one. We're all connected here on this planet Earth. So the truth, we had to bring the truth to light. And there's a lot of light workers and highly sensitive people and seers and prophetics and starseeds and stuff that are going to start doing this. We're going to start speaking up and being bolder than ever because this darkness needs to be exposed for the sake of the vulnerable that are this is what we're doing. You want to talk about calling down light codes and solar flares and light? That's what we did. We sent the light into this dark space to expose this guy. And you know, they backpedaled way back and it's like it's over. And he is losing followers. He definitely is. And that's a good thing. Follow yourself. That's right. He has called himself an ascended master. He is in charge of the earth's ascension. He is. He is in charge. Guy with a do-rag lives in a camper. Asking for everybody else's money. He's in charge of the earth's ascension. Wow. Guess what? We're all in charge of the earth's ascension. And you know how we're in charge of the earth's ascension? Through here. By helping each other. By speaking the truth. By accepting the truth and moving into our own freedom. By dealing with what we have to deal with. By shifting and you know, doing our own work, doing our own healing, forgiving on our own personal development path. And the more that we become free, guess what that's doing? Guess what that's doing? It's emitting and emoting freedom into the world. Because it's not going to be them. It's not like, can you be good to me 2024? Here, I guess we're ending another year. It was horrible. Was the year horrible or did you make good choices? And you know, I start talking about this towards the end of the year. The power is in your hands. The power isn't here. It's in your hands and the choices that you make. And so that was a long story. And I appreciate you listening to this. But so the truth was exposed in this situation. And sometimes that's what it takes. And that's why I posted what I posted today on this, you know, about control and manipulation. And so this guy is trying to take control by saying that he's an ascended master and he's taking everybody's money. And now he's living in a house and he's like, they eat very well and he lives in a house and there's three. I mean, you know, in the meantime, he criticizes the 3D system and the workforce and having a 3D job. I mean, first of all, since when did we have to start having this conversation and call it 3D job? And this person that I used to talk to, I'd get on the phone with her, and it was always this super spiritual talk. Like, there's nothing wrong with the 3D. No, I hope not, because this is a pen. And I'm sitting here right now in flesh and blood. I'm holding this pen, and I'm going to write my name on this piece of paper. Okay, this is real. I just wrote my name with this pen on this piece of paper. And I think it really gets insane with this everything's an illusion thing. This is reality right here. And when we go to sleep, and when we dream, and when we travel, that's also reality. But what we're supposed to be doing here in human form is bringing that loving, all these experiences that Kathy had, the clouds, the things that I have, the way that I ground, the way that people pray, meditate, ground themselves, obtain their own freedom. That is creating a collective force of love that is going to help everybody else awaken in this realm, this earth plane. That's what we're doing here, is helping everybody live their best possible productive life while we are here in human form. Not to bypass, not to use all these rituals to try to escape, the whole escapism thing, and hunker down and pull the shade and afraid of all the energy. We have to watch what we're doing, and I've noticed that this is what happens when people get a taste of energy. They start to learn about energy. They start to learn about what's going on. They start to get a taste of energy and a taste of what's going on, and all of a sudden now they move into this thing that, well, I've got to protect my energy, and I can only dole out so much every day. And when it gets to the point, and this is what I was saying a little while ago about exploring all these different things. If anything I could say right now would be to continue exploring and don't get stuck in one thing, and don't make that be your landing place forever. Don't make that a forever place of when you realize something. Don't make that a forever place. I hate to use an example from the Bible because a lot of people are not doing Bible, but I'll just share for anybody that knows this. I think it was Peter, James, and John that went up to the mountain with Jesus, right? This is in the gospel. And Peter, James, and John was like, can we stay there? Can we stay there? So this is nice here, right? But they went up to the top of the mountain. Don't you love this? I get to use this as like show and tell now. So he's on the mountaintop. What's at the mountain? The air's, it's a high place. So he's with Peter, James, and John on the mountaintop. And they're like, can we stay up here? I don't want to go down here and deal with these people. Can we not go here? Let's just stay here. Just us four and no more. Pastor from an old church used to say that, us four and no more. And so that's what they wanted. This is so amazing and euphoric and bliss up here. I'm going to get to bliss now. It's only an hour and 7 minutes. I've got at least 20 more minutes. I'm going to tie bliss into this. This is bliss. Can we just stay here? Let's just stay here, just us. And Jesus was like, no, we can't stay here. This was for us, but we're going to take it back down here now to all the people. We're going to spread it throughout the communities and the towns in the area, and that's what we're going to do. And I had no plans of even talking about this. This just came about. Jesus took them up here to maybe have this experience so they could be, there could be an impartation, or maybe there could just be this rest. There could be this time of, like, when you meditate, when you ground, when you're quiet, when you have solitude, when you pray, when you have stillness and that stuff. But what are we going to do with that ultimately? We're not going to stay here and hide away from the world. Now the freedom and the rest and the rest and the alignment that we've come into in here, we want to spread this to the world now. We want the world to have this. We want to unify. We want to make our marriages better, our relationships better, our family better. We're going to spread this word. We're going to spread the love, like the Doobie Brothers were good for this. That's what we want to do. We're not supposed to just hang around in our little groups and our little cliques, and it's just us. And we're going to create these little groups, and we're just going to remain among ourselves, and it's all going to be us now, and everybody else can go screw off. I mean, where's the love in that? Where's the unity in this? Where is the universal vision in that? Because there's a lot of people that want to be teachers. There's a lot of people that want to be ascended masters. There's a lot of people that want to do all these things and be public figures. But do you want to connect with these people and build relationship? Because the true characteristic of being a leader is developing and sustaining relationships with people and edifying others and encouraging others and motivating others and developing relationships that are real, not just creating groups and cliques and sects and organizations and all of this, of which then you have to subscribe to how they think and the way they do things and how they see things. Being broken open and remaining broken open in heart space, in the field, in the your energy field, is how bliss is created. So I was talking about the mountaintop and how they were experiencing bliss. They didn't want to deal with the people. They didn't want to deal with this because it's going to mess with their bliss. So guess what? That's how you maintain and manage. This is how you learn. This is how you grow, by interacting and dealing with the contrast, the different energies, the stale stuff at the gym, let's say that I go to the gym 4 days a week. Learning how to, when to lean in, when to have conversation, when to lean back, what to say and what not to say. You learn how to respond to adverse events. You learn how to respond to adverse event energies, contrast. What is contrast? Just the ways of different people, just the darkness, the moods of different people, the ways of being of other people that might not be as happy and joy filled. That people, there's a lot of angry people out there. There's a lot of sad people out there. There's a lot of depressed people out there. Avoiding them isn't how you sustain bliss. Avoiding them avoiding them is not how you sustain bliss. It's expanding your freedom. It's the more work that you do and the more you personally develop and the more that you increase your freedom. That's how you learn how to sustain your own bliss, because bliss isn't just being alone in the woods and being by yourself. That's easy. Bliss is knowing how to overcome adversity. Bliss is knowing how to handle, a situation that happens that you weren't planning on. Bliss is knowing how to go with the flow when plans change on a dime, something you weren't expecting, and not obsessing on it. Bliss it's really a decision. It's a choice. It becomes a choice, because now the more freedom that you have, then now you understand the taste of peace and the taste of joy. So you expand it. You have to learn how to focus. This is where the mind comes in. Okay. So it's heart over matter. It's not mind over matter. It's heart over matter. And you can only control the mind based on what's going on in the heart. So the more that you're clear here of the debris, the wounds, the traumas, and the things, and you've done your emotional work and you've done your spiritual work, and the more clear that you become within yourself, now you can drive the mind. Now, when your mind starts to, something happens like, oh my God, I wasn't planning on, like if there, whatever happened that was adverse, or a change of plan, or something that happened, instead of getting into the head of, oh my God, what am I going to do? And you start looping into this fear space. This is in control now, because you're solid in here. You're grounded in here. You're grounded. This now takes over. Now this takes over, and this drives them on. All right, don't go there. Let's not go there. You can say, all right, I'm not gonna get carried away with this. I'm not gonna allow myself to think in this way. I'm not like, okay, let's take a breath. Let's breathe. Let's get a handle on this. We have the tools to do it. So the tools, what are the tools? This alignment, this connection. So that's bliss. And there are blissful moments, I don't know, weddings, parties, special occasions, concerts, meeting up with a friend. There are blissful moments. Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays coming up. The outward physicalities that create bliss. I'm talking about inward bliss, sustaining your inward bliss. But it starts with truth, to the freedom, to the bliss. And it's a process. I believe it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. So to say that there's no such thing as bliss or magic, someone apparently hasn't figured this out yet. They're still in process of learning this and expanding and evolving into this. And hopefully that you do. And I believe that every human being was meant for this, because no one is better than the other. No one is better than, it's not about better than. And I believe that we've all been given this ability to sustain this bliss, and it does become a choice. It becomes pragmatic. It becomes taking action. It becomes making decisions. It becomes, okay, this really feels like crap right now, but I'm not going to really feed into this for too long. And the reason why people feed into betrayal and hurts and wounds and things and disappointments that come is that's when there is lingering debris in the background. There is a history of story. There is a history of stuff, accumulated stuff that's there already, that's pending. So now something else comes in. It's like, oh no, now it's compounded. Now it's compounded, and what hasn't been cleared. I have taught for a very long time that healing is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and it doesn't mean healing is not a word that means you're broken, wounded, so traumatized that you can't handle life. That's not what that necessarily means. It means that process, healing and process. It means the process of what you feel, process of what's happening, process of the adversity, process of the disappointment. And the more that you clear the old stuff and the old energy, the less is existing that dictates to the new stuff that comes in. This is why relationships fail. This is why marriages fail. This is why friendships go by the wayside. This is why this person did a number on me for the second time. This is why this person behaved the way that they did. They confessed and they owned that they had a Jezebel controlling spirit, and they functioned in this, but they really didn't heal the root cause of it. They didn't heal the root cause of it. They didn't really get into the work of it. And so it caused them to cycle back to behaving like this again, because they didn't clear the work. They didn't do the work. And that's what happens when you don't do your work, when you don't heal, when you don't clear. A new thing happens. Now it's like fly paper. It's like, you know how fly paper with the flies? It's gross. Okay, it's a bad example, but okay. So there's like this fly strip, this bug strip that hangs from the, and it's like debris, old debris, traumas and wounds is sticky. So it's like icky sticky. So here comes one more adverse event. Now it sticks. You don't clear this, it's going to stick. So we're not going to clear this. So here comes another adverse event. Here comes another one. And here comes a couple more. And here comes another one. So now what do we got? Now we've got, look at this. How can you think straight with this? How can you feel, where's the clarity? How can you have any clarity in this? There's no clarity in this. So healing and process is a lifestyle. What does that mean? So now we're going to process it all. We're going to let it all, let's unpack. And when someone first starts their healing process with me, we unpack a little bit. And you deal with one at a time. And you unpack. But once you've unpacked and you've let it all go, and you get to this is possible. And once you obtain those breakthroughs and those freedoms, they're yours forever. When you work with me, I'm considered the last coach for a reason. And I'm telling you that when I work with people, I get you into a place of that permanent freedom where you're not sticky. Stuff isn't sticking. And you learn this, it's water off a duck. It becomes water off a duck's back, to use that phrase. But that is why the marriages and the relationships and different things fail, because people have accumulated all their stuff. And so now they're not seeing clearly. They're seeing through a filter and a stickiness of all this baggage, garbage. And so now you have a stupid disagreement. Or it could be a matter of somebody says something. Somebody asks you a question. There was this person. I would ask them a question. I said, and I knew I'm going to ask this person a question. Just one question. Some people can't handle questions. I know two people. Well, this one person doesn't do this anymore. I would ask a question. I was like, I'm going to ask this person a question. It's going to be all this just from one question. There's going to be all this stuff's going to come up just from asking somebody a question. It's just a question. Let me give you a tip. If you know anybody like this, that's sensitive this way, that has sensitive, unprocessed baggage, when you ask them a question, the last thing you want to say is, if they react or if they respond in not a favorable way, the last thing you want to say, it's just a question. That doesn't work. That's not the thing to say. The thing you want to say for someone like this And hopefully this person is in your family that you can't get away from, and it's not someone that you're like married to or in a best friendship or relationship with. That's not fun. That is not fun. You don't want to say it's just a question because it makes them feel even more invalidated and their rejection and issues just gets triggered even more. You want to say something like, I'm not inferring anything by asking you this question. I sincerely would like to know where you're at in this particular thus and such. That is the best way you can handle that. It's a sentence. You can learn it. I've learned it. It's doable. It saves a heck of a lot of drama. There's another person that I know that if I just know I cannot have a conversation with this person. This person is up and down and all around with certain things. I know a lot of people, but this person is up and down and all around with certain things. They feel like the world has done them dirty. And when you feel like the world, and sometimes the world has done you dirty, but things happen for you, not to you. And sometimes when these things happen for you, it is to get some healing going. So if this person feels like when someone's holding that kind of energy where they feel they've been done dirty, they feel like everybody's betrayed them, they feel all these things, they're holding on to this. So now you come along and you want to ask, like, what's going on? They're going to react out of this now. So the healing and the process as a lifestyle is constantly moving this energy along, moving it along. And the more the truth, the more you get in that freedom space, the more bliss and peace you tune into. You're now able to respond to these situations that are presented in a more peaceful way. You're able to let go of these things and not hold on to them. You're able to say, okay, you can roll your eyes at some stuff and be like, all right, I'm going to keep going. I have a focus. I have stuff to do. I have things I got to accomplish. I got to move right along. That is when blessing and releasing people out of your life might be necessary. If someone just doesn't want to grow, if they live in this defensive space, if they have a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about, a lot of this sticky stuff that they cannot have a comfortable conversation. You can't ask them a question. You can't request a conversation without them raising their voice, or they start to get loud, or they start to get like their emotional stuff starts to get, you can't, if they're not willing, there's nothing you can do. And it's not your fault that you need to lean back because you want to engage, you want to connect, but if they're not capable, that's when blessing and releasing and cutting out maybe is necessary. And not because you're a jerk, because you want to connect, but they won't. And you can't, it's oil and water. Those two things don't work. It doesn't gel. It doesn't gel. And healthy relationship and healthy love is all about growing together. It's about developing mutual understanding, whatever it is, whether it's family, husband, wife, spouse, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, all these things, best friend, mutual understanding. And when you can come to terms in a conversation and develop that mutual understanding and that clarity, then you can move. Let's flow along, and then you can keep moving. That's growth. That's really all that is. That's growth. That's keeping the growth going in the relationship, because nobody's perfect. We all have stuff that we're processing, dealing with every day. Let me see here. Once you receive bliss and share it, it also expands your own bliss. Yes, that's very true. Whenever I seeked other people for anything or help, it turned into disaster. I am my own ascension master. Hey, that you rhymed there, Lori. Look, you're a poet and you didn't even know it. So there's that. I think I'm going to stop right there. It's an hour and 23 minutes, and that's a long time. And I think this, I've accomplished what I wanted to say here, and I appreciate you all hanging with me. And this was really good. And it was some laughs. It was some funny. But, we got to be real, and we have to be able to tell the truth. You have to be able to receive the truth. See, and the more truth that you're open to receiving, and dealing with your ego. And sometimes it's hard, but if you're open to this and saying, all right, and you battle it out within yourself, you're getting more free. You're getting freer and freer and freer. And then your bliss is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's good news, right? That's the good news. And that's what I'm all about. Helping you get to the good stuff and the good news. So that being said, my name is Dawn Shale. You can find me at www.dawnshale.com. You can learn more there about how I coach and counsel clients. If you know anybody that would love to that maybe needs some help, if you or anyone you know that could use some assistance in this area, go to my website, check me out. All my contact information is there. Reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. Feel free to share this podcast. As you feel inspired, share it. Please share it after I posted it on my Facebook page. If any of you are there and that's where you're going to share it, you'll see the link and then you'll just click share and then share it, because I do like a little mock up or chat up before I post it. So there's talking points and people can kind of understand what they're about to listen to. So I would appreciate that. And I thank you for sharing also the ones that do. And it means a lot to me. That's my heart. That's my soul, is to bring liberty and freedom and expansion to humanity. And I can only do so much through this podcast. And so if anybody does need some assistance or help, reach out to me, and I'm here to always conduct 30-minute intuitive calls. And I'd love to talk and get to know you better. So that being said, have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you, you guys, David, Lori, Kathy, Scooter Bean, Carrie. Did I miss anybody? I think I'm repeating names, but thank you so much. I love you much, and have a great week. And I'll be back Thursday. I have no idea what I'm talking about. You have to tune in to find out. And have a great week, and I will talk at you soon. I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.